There has been a ton of predator catching YouTube channels as well as streamers over the years, but there has not been a single one nearly as chaotic and dystopian as what Vitality TV is doing on Kick right now. And the particular incident that I want to talk about today is how Vitality, as well as a longtime YouTuber, Bradley Martin, uncovered a Hollywood predator, and it was kind of an accident. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with these YouTubers, Vitality TV, he's a legend on YouTube. He has over 10 million subscribers. Look at this, 76 million views, 48 million. He really popped off during the prank era. And he's a great YouTuber, but he's not a great person, as you could say. He's definitely had his struggles in the past as far as psychotic stuff like this, where he one time attacked a female jogger while he was on some sort of drugs. I forget what it was, but it doesn't really matter because there's no excuse for that. It does not matter what drug you're on, but you could see it even in his mugshot here. His pupils look humongous. So needless to say, he's sort of on a redemption arc, or an attempted redemption arc, with this whole predator hunting phase he's going through. And the other guy is Bradley Martin, who is also a YouTube legend. He's been doing this for, let's go to oldest videos, 9 years. And Bradley Martin also was during that prank era a bit, but he had the gym niche locked down. And he also owns a very successful gym, either in LA or right outside of LA, called Zoo Culture. And this is basically what Vitality does. He logs into dating apps, and then he has a decoy pretending to be a child who's messaging people. He then arranges a date with the decoy and the predator, and all of that is pretty standard predator catching stuff. The only difference being that instead of, I don't know, interrogating him, he instead humiliates the predator, and he'll, I don't know, either shave the guy's head, he'll make him walk on all fours like a dog and drink out of a dog bowl. He turns it into a humiliation ritual. But there is a lot of speculation going around that Vitality Predator streams are staged. And I think a lot of that comes from the fact that Vitality got very big during the fake prank era of YouTube. And I'm not going to argue with the fact that some of these streams might be fake, but this stream right here will prove that at least some of the streams are real, because no successful Hollywood person would willingly ruin their entire legacy for Vitality. And keep in mind, nobody here in this van that you're looking at right now has any idea that this guy that they're about to meet is some Hollywood dude, some big shot. They just met this guy on a dating app. He said he was 66. The girl said that she was 15 years old, but she's actually 24. She's a decoy, so don't think like the guy's hanging out with a 15-year-old girl. They're putting her in danger. She's 24, but he thinks he's hanging out with a 15-year-old girl. And here they state his intentions with the girl.
He said he was gonna kiss and lick him.
Oh, also, she's supposed to go to his house after and watch a movie with him.
Oh, yeah, okay. We know. Netflix and chill. Okay. Okay, now we know where it's going.
So his initial intentions were to take the girl out, get some pizza, and then go back to his house, watch a movie. And I'm sure you know what that entails of watching a movie. Obviously, the guy has bad intentions, allegedly. And I think the guy was getting a little bit suspicious because he eventually changed the plans to, hey, let's just take the pizza to go. Maybe he was afraid that LARPing as a grandfather in public to some young girl only works if you're not famous. Famous is a strong word, but the last thing this guy wants is TMZ rolling up on him while he's out to dinner with a 15-year-old girl.
Bro, should I feel bad? He's 73, like yelling at him. I said, nah.
Okay, he wants to take it to go back to their house, so...
Wow! Nah. Fuck that, my question's just been answered.
It's pretty clear at this point, this guy's whole goal is to just get this girl back to his apartment as soon as possible. So they send the decoy out. Her name is Riley, and the plan was pretty simple. While she's sitting there outside eating pizza, they send Bradley Martin out. And Bradley Martin is going to act as Riley's dad. They're going to question him, maybe get some good clips out of it, maybe humiliate him a little bit. Perhaps, best case scenario, the cops come. And then they're just going to move on to the next guy. But because believe it or not, Vitality gets multiple predators every single stream. I don't know how he does it. And this was the interaction. Keep in mind, at this point, still everybody thinks this is just some random 66-year-old man.
Lila, what are you doing? You know who this is? What's your name? What's your name?
Oh.
What's your name?
Who are you?
What's your name?
Who are you?
Why are you suing my fucking daughter? What's your name? What is your name?
Boris. My name is Boris.
Boris. What's your name? Shake my hand.
What's the problem?
So he says his name is Boris. Just keep that in mind because we'll fact check that later.
Why are you suing my fucking daughter? You know how old she is?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
No.
What the f you thought was gonna happen here?
Nothing. We're gonna have a pizza. I don't know.
Pizza. Yeah, you don't know? How old is she?
Brad.
You know how old she is?
I matched with her. She was 23.
23. Is that what the conversation looked like?
You remember the text messages? She was 23 on a
23.
dating site.
On a dating site?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, she was 23 on
How old is she?
Site. I have no idea.
Lila, how old are you?
I'm sorry. She was 23 on a dating site. All we've done is
So she didn't tell you how old she was?
She did.
She did?
Yeah.
How old is she?
She said she was 15.
How did she tell you how old she actually is?
She said she's 15.
She said she's 15. Why are you here?
So at first he's saying 23, and instead of sticking to his lie, I guess he broke because, I don't know, I guess the pressure. Bradley Martin's kind of intimidating. If you don't know who he is, he's intimidating.
Here, why are you sitting here?
I'm just having a
With a fucking 15-year-old?
pizza.
Pizza with a fucking 15-year-old.
It's not against
You think
the
that's
law.
okay?
I think it's not against the law.
It's not against the law?
No.
Is that all you spoke about to her?
We've just been talking.
Really?
Yeah, we've been talking and flirting. It's not a big deal.
So you heard it there. He's just there to get a pizza with a 15-year-old, not against the law. Technically, yes, that's true, but just because it's not against the law, obviously, getting pizza with a 15-year-old, it's everything but illegal. And it's only going to lead to bad things. And then he admits to flirting with her. So very creepy statement. Clearly, this guy knows what he's doing is wrong. You could see he's stressed. But he also seems to understand what's legal and what's not legal. So it leads me to believe that he might have done this before, or he might have done his research at least.
Where are you going?
I ordered a pizza. I'm going to go.
Okay, have a seat. Have a seat.
Why?
I'll sit with you. I'll eat pizza with you. We're just having pizza, right? Sorry. Sit right here.
Sorry.
Sit right here.
Sorry.
Where? I don't know. Well, excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
You said you wanted a kiss, touch, and lick, whatever?
Yeah.
Right?
And if you didn't hear that, he was just reiterating the text that this old man sent to her, saying that he wanted to lick her and touch her and stuff. I feel weird even saying it. This part I just want to show you guys because it's a hilarious attempt at trying to lose the camera crew, because he leaves and then they're following him. And I don't know what universe he thought this was going to work, but just watch it.
Yo, sir, just to tell us you did it wrong.
We're going with you.
Oh, got it wrong.
Adventure.
Oh, no, I will.
Oh, we going this way?
They're trying to juke us out. Bro, we're playing Crossy Road right now? What?
Should we call the cops?
So we tried a little misdirection, didn't really work. He eventually walks into his building because there's not much that these guys can do about it. The security kind of blocked him off, and he essentially got away. They shot him with some sort of gender reveal confetti on the back of his head, so he had some blue and pink like dust on the back of his head. The creepiest thing about this, though, is that pizza place was only a couple of blocks away from his apartment. So he obviously very conveniently picked a place that's walkable, so it would be convenient. That could be like, hey, let's go back to my place after. And then it makes sense. It's just an easier way to get the person he's interested in back to his place. It seems somewhat systematic, so I would just hope that this is the first time he's done this and that he doesn't have a long list of people he's taken to this pizza place. We can only hope. After they lost him, the decoy, the girl Riley, who was pretending to be the 15-year-old, she said this.
Good?
Oh yeah, he grabbed my ass and like touched my thigh and everything like that.
Serious?
What the f?
So yeah, the guy apparently was being very aggressive. He got away. It was awkward. But at least they revealed his face to the public. I think the hopes at this point were that somebody from the audience would recognize him, and maybe he gets in trouble that way. But then the decoy said this, and right after this was said, it became pretty obvious who this guy is.
All right, so tell me, read the evidence.
Wait, the one we just caught?
Yeah.
They said that the last guy we just caught, he was a producer and he produced Space Jam or something like that.
That guy?
Yeah.
Hey, that motherfucker.
I knew he had money. He was in an expensive building.
He was telling her.
Yeah, it is.
So he was bragging about being a writer for Space Jam while on the date, and a few minutes later, chat was all over it, and I guess they just went to the Space Jam Wikipedia page and they found him. And this is who the guy is, Herschel Weingrod. And if you look at his Wikipedia page, he's actually 76, not 66. I'm not sure why he lied for that 10-year difference. Either way, it's terrible. And here's the list of movies. I personally have only seen Space Jam out of these movies, but apparently Kindergarten Cop's a very popular movie. And it's concerning, because if you look at Kindergarten Cop, just from the picture, probably a lot of kids in that movie. People on Twitter were doing some investigative work. They were comparing the ring that he has on his pinky finger to the ring that he was wearing in an interview. So it's pretty obvious it's the same guy. So I think that's some pretty good proof right there that even though Vitaly comes from the fake prank background, not everything he does is fake, because obviously this guy's not going to stick his neck out and ruin his career, his legacy, all that stuff just for a Vitaly stream. Doesn't matter how much money he's getting paid, because apparently this guy's worth well over $100 million. So I don't think Vitaly's paying this guy enough money where he's going to destroy his own legacy. And I thought this was really weird. It's not surprising. It's annoying, if anything, because if you type in Alan Weingrod, the guy's name, you go to news, not a single major news source is covering this. It's all these like random news sources. So they're clearly trying to keep this out of the news, because this is a story that a news outlet would jump all over, but they're trying to protect the guy, I guess. And people weren't shocked either. A lot of the responses are like, oh, surprise, another Hollywood predator. It's just become so normal in the entertainment industry to the point that I'm at the point where, whether or not this is rational, if I see a person who's just selling out stadiums or they're starring in every movie, I'm just assuming they have been a victim of this or they have partaken in this on the other side. I've lost literally all hope in the entertainment industry. Here's a common criticism that I see about what Vitaly's doing. This guy says, I've seen so many of these Vitaly clips catching predators, and need to realize is that the police do it in a correct way so they can actually prosecute. You can't just get a creepy dude come to your house and have them arrested based off your chat history. He's not the only one who says this. This is very, very common. I understand what this guy is saying, but my question to you guys specifically is it better to just not do this at all whatsoever and potentially have these guys fly under the radar for the rest of their life? Or is it better to, if you're live streaming, you have a large audience, is it better to just do this? And yeah, they don't get arrested, but if there's 60,000 people watching, there's going to be people who know who the predator is, and then the predator is going to, at least there's going to be public awareness. Perhaps some of these people might lose their jobs if they're in a specific job where they're around children. It's overall just going to make people more aware. Like, hey, this guy who I thought was some legendary Space Jam writer, it turns out he's a weirdo. So if he invites me over his house, I'm not going. Because a month before this took place, everybody who was aware of this guy's existence probably thought he was a legend. So I personally think the world is better off with these predator hunting channels. In an ideal scenario, obviously the police are handling this, but they have a bunch of other stuff they're worrying about and a bunch of hoops they got to jump through in order for the case to be legitimate. So I'm curious what you guys think. Is it better to catch the predators and expose them and them not get arrested, or is it better to just not do this at all? If the objective is just to expose people, then how is this any different than, per se, journalism? But at the end of the day, I know absolutely nothing. I'm just some dude talking into a camera right now. Hopefully this guy faces some sort of repercussions for his actions in the future, but I have a feeling he's not. So I just thought this was interesting. I wanted to share this with you guys. Hopefully it's not heavily suppressed, because it seems that nobody's reporting on it. And I think if people are reporting on it, it's getting yeeted off of platforms, because I see absolutely nothing besides Twitter. Thank goodness for Twitter, guys. I know it's a cesspool of negativity, but it's one of the few places that allow you to see what's actually going on in the world without extreme censorship. But that's really it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.